Hello, and welcome to the Grapevine. I am your co-host, Mike.
And I'm the other co-host, Rick. Today we're going to be talking about a couple of events that stood out to us through the month of May, leading up till May 20th, 2015, which is today.
We will have segments such as Witcher frame rate comparisons, the box office sales of Avengers Age of Ultron, and our own opinions on it, and we will be telling more about the latest Fire Emblem game.
So let's get right to it. Starting off, we're going to be giving you a bit of information about The Witcher 3. The wildly anticipated game exceeded pre-order expectations and was recently released May 19th, yesterday. So far there's very little to complain about, aside from a minor difference in FPS between PS4 and Xbone. While the PS4 version runs at a locked 30 FPS, the Xbone stays normally between 30 to 40. So Xbone runs slightly better, but in certain areas there's a stuttering issue, such as in the city Novigrad. The fact that the PS4 runs at a locked 30 is actually better in the long run, as Xbone desires to overcompensate causes the overall framing experience of the game to be somewhat lacking. To illustrate that point, here's a quick clip we pulled off of Eurogamer.net.
You, help me, kind folk, please!
Frame rate aside though, the game still plays fairly well and is a welcome addition to the Witcher series. As earlier mentioned, it sold very well and exceeded the pre-order expectations.
Personally, I didn't notice the difference. Maybe you did?
Yeah, nah, I'm not that big a nerd on frame rate. Like, I honestly don't care as long as the game runs well enough.
I honestly did not know what frame rate did until you told me about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, we actually had a discussion about what FPS is before the video started.
All I know is that it's good to have in
Yeah.
some games such as League.
It's like back in the 80s. Nobody knew what the hell a bit was, but the more of it you had, the better.
Honestly, I'm still not sure what a bit is.
Nobody is. Moving on. Go ahead. You want to take this one?
I would love to. In an interview with Chris Pratt by GQ, Chris was quoted in saying, "I'm tied to doing 3 more or 5 more Guardians of the Galaxy, or whatever it is. You know? 2 more Guardians plus another couple." This refers to, I assume, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which starts filming in February and comes out May 5th, 2017. And if that does well, then probably Guardians 3. It is safe to assume that the others that he was talking about was part 1 and 2 of Avengers Infinity Wars. However, it is possible that he could be in Inhumans, which comes out 2019. It deals with a race of superhumans created by the Kree, and if you don't know, the Kree are the race that I don't remember his name is, but the villain of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ronan.
His race. It is also possible that he's going to be in Captain Marvel, which comes out in 2018, because that character deals a lot with the Guardians. Personally, I think Chris Pratt is an excellent actor. I loved him in Parks and Rec, and I loved him in Guardians of the Galaxy.
He's a pretty good actor. I'd like to see him in more stuff.
And I love his character,
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord. He's hilarious.
He is.
So I would love to see that character more often.
Me too. I'm kind of curious though. You said that he's going to be in Captain Marvel. Is he going to be possibly
as
Star-Lord?
All of
okay.
these characters, he will be Star-Lord.
Alright.
I would assume.
Also, when you said the Kree, I thought the Skrull from Fantastic Four for some reason.
Oh no, the blue people from Guardians.
Guardians, yeah. For some reason, when you said Kree, I was like, Skrull. That doesn't sound.
It
right.
is almost certain that he is going to be in at least one of the Infinity Wars, though, because the Guardians have one of the Infinity Gems. If you've that's what it's called, right?
Like in their possession.
In their possession,
Gems,
and
yeah.
he needs to get them for his gauntlet. So.
Oh, Thanos.
They're gonna show up. He's gonna show up They're gonna show up somewhere in it.
Yeah.
The other two movies, they sound interesting. I would at least watch it, even if he's not in it.
They do sound pretty good.
They do.
In other news, Splatoon is scheduled to be released very soon on May 29th. The demo is already up on the Nintendo eShop, and it looks like loads of fun. I haven't personally played it myself, but boy does it look fun. Although it's new to the Nintendo game list, it already looks like it's going to be a classic. The game is a lighthearted shooter that comes as a welcome addition to the variety of shooters out there, which, as you know, is very lacking. As the goal is not to kill players, although it does help, but instead to paint as much of the area with your team's color as you can. Nintendo has already announced tons of news on the game, including frequent map and weapon releases, new online modes, and of course amiibos.
What are amiibos?
You don't know what amiibos are?
I do not, I'm sorry.
Oh, they're the newest thing by Nintendo. They're basically like little action figures that you put on the Wii or whatever, and it enhances the gameplay.
So they're kind of like those, isn't that a different game?
Yeah, okay, so you know Disney Infinity.
Yeah.
They have, like, characters that you just load onto the Disney thing and then you play
It's
with
like
them.
those.
And they level up. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
Nintendo's Disney Infinity shit.
Okay. Well,
But they're kind of releasing it on everything.
it's a fairly decent idea.
I mean, it's a good idea, but, like, half the times they don't work okay, that's not fair to say. They work pretty much all the time. I just had a bad experience with one. They underproduce them. Okay. So they're ridiculously expensive.
Well, personally, I didn't look into Splatoon at all before this. I probably should have.
I did.
But
honestly, it looks like it's going to be
from the news, it sounded good.
Yeah.
And I'll look into it. I suggest you do too.
If you like horribly adorable squid girls shooting each other with paint, then you'll love this.
Who doesn't love those? Most people.
Most people, yeah.
Okay, I think that's about time where we switch topics into Avengers: Age of Ultron. Did amazingly at box offices. It hit about $1 billion during its first 24 days, which I don't know anything about box office, but that sounds amazing. And considering Avengers: Age of Ultron will be Marvel's third movie to reach that, the first being Avengers, the first one, and Iron Man 3, which kind of surprised me. And it'll also be Disney's 8th movie to reach that, which also surprised me because Disney has tons of movies. But Age of Ultron opened internationally April 22nd as the #1 debut in all markets. So it did good.
Yeah.
I saw the movie. It was excellent.
I saw it with him. It was really good.
It was very good.
Incredibly good. I don't know if I would say it's better than the original.
I thought it was
at least as good.
It was as good. I don't know if it was better.
I liked Ultron a lot.
I loved Ultron.
He was a good character.
I love all Marvel characters.
But
he was really good. And I don't remember the actor's name who did his voice, but
yeah, he did a really great job.
He did amazing.
We actually have a clip from the Avengers, a bit of a lighthearted one.
We not lighthearted at all, actually.
Oh,
Decided to go with a different clip.
oh, okay.
So here it
You're
is.
wondering why you can't look inside my head.
Sometimes it's hard. But sooner or later, every man shows himself.
Oh, I'm sure they do. But you needed something more than a man. That's why you let Stark take the scepter.
I didn't expect. But I saw Stark's fear. I knew it would control him, make him self-destruct.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create Avengers. People create smaller people. Children. I lost the word there. Children. Designed to supplant them, to help them end.
More news on Nintendo. The latest in the Fire Emblem series, titled Fire Emblem If, has recently announced more information on the game itself. For anyone who doesn't know, Fire Emblem If is seemingly very different from any of the prior games released in the Fire Emblem series, as it takes a conflict between two very different countries called Nor and Hoshido. And has them, hold on, let me just flip over to this, battle against each other in a war whose purpose and cause is not yet clear to us. So we don't really know why they're fighting yet. What's more, Nintendo is choosing to release the game in two separate games. One in which you ally yourself with Hoshido, and one in which you're aligned with Nor. However, a DLC for a third neutral option has been mentioned on the Nintendo Direct about it, so choice isn't necessarily forced. To get a better idea of what to expect, here's a small clip from the trailer we pulled from Nintendo's YouTube page.
Well, this is very interesting in and of itself. The topic of today is the updates that were recently announced. Most notably of these is the inclusion of the new optional Phoenix mode and the update to the weapons in the game. Like casual mode in Awakening, Phoenix mode is made to attract new fans who are interested in Fire Emblem, but were always kind of scared of the difficulty of the game and the characters' permanent deaths after failing in battle. However, Phoenix mode takes it a step further. While casual mode would have units defeated in battle, retreat for the duration of the mission, and become available again next mission, Phoenix mode has fallen enemies, or allies,
It's kind of weird if it did it with enemies.
yeah, very. Phoenix mode has fallen allies return to the battlefield the turn after they die. Once again, this is an optional difficulty, and you do still have the casual and classic mode options as well.
As for the weapon update, durability has been removed from the game altogether in favor of weapons that have separate effects, such as increased critical hit avoidance and decreased defense. Also, the weapons now differ between the two countries, which is something rather new to the series as well. While Nora uses the traditional swords, lances, axes that the game is known for, the Hoshidan choose to use katanas, naginatas, and I think the other one was maces, but I wasn't fully aware, or sure. These will function like normal weapons would, with each of them falling under the category of sword, lance, mace, or sword, lance, or mace, but the distinct naming difference is an interesting addition. Fire Emblem If is scheduled to be released June 25th, 2015 in Japan, but as of now there's only a 2016 release date for the US. But it is believed that the localized version will be released all in one game rather than two games that make you choose one path and a DLC with a neutral ending.
I do think that it should be one game, and then, I've said this before when I first heard of it. I threw it back to Zoid's Battle Legends, where it did the same thing, but it was one game, and you could choose either the good side or the bad side, basically.
Yeah.
It should be one game and do that.
Well, even if it's not like that, like I think the Pokemon approach to Fire Emblem is just not a very wise one.
I do not think so. I agree with that.
Because, like, most people aren't gonna want it. It's probably going to turn a lot of people away from the game, is what I'm afraid of.
Yes, I did hear. Heard a bit of information. However, I did not hear about the DLC. There's a DLC with a whole neutral party, so there's a third party.
Yeah, there's
like a whole team.
Not like
or
a
just
team,
like a
not
character or two.
It's okay. So basically, what it is you buy one game and you'll play through the game, and once you get to a certain point, that would be where if you have the DLC, it'll offer you the option to take a neutral path rather than following the Nor or the Hoshido, depending on.
Okay, so it's a different story path.
Yeah, it's a different storyline.
I thought it was a whole different character set.
Oh no, that would be
like a whole nother country.
Oh no, that would be very interesting if they did that, but no, it doesn't. I don't think that's what they're doing.
Okay. As for Phoenix mode, I feel like in my opinion, it's bad. It's bad. They shouldn't have made it.
Like it's good that it's optional, but
it is.
Like,
however, I feel like people who will play it, they're not gonna really care because personally for me, it made me think harder. Even on casual mode in Awakening, it made me think, what can I do so my character doesn't die? But if he comes back the very next turn, I won't care.
Mode, you're just not going to care. You're going to be like, oh, now I'll just send him over here, have him whittle down this guy's health, and then die, I guess.
It also raises a few questions on will that work with your main character? Because even with casual mode, if your main character died, it was a game over.
Yeah, I believe that if your main character dies, it's still a game over.
Okay.
I don't see why it wouldn't be. So that game overs aren't impossible on Phoenix mode, but
it's very unlikely.
If you're playing Fire Emblem, we've played all of the US released Fire Emblem games.
Except for Shadow of the Dragon.
Okay, well, except for that one,
called.
the Shadow Dragon. We haven't played that one yet, but we plan to.
Yes.
We've even played the English patched version of Fui no Tsurugi, and if you're playing Fire Emblem with even a semblance of thought, then you should do fine on.
The majority. I will say.
Fui no Tsurugi
that one is
definitely harder, but even then, as long as you're not just a fucking moron, you should do fine with the keeping your main character alive part.
Yes.
You really shouldn't have that much difficulty.
Yes. The weapons, whether or not they're a good idea or a bad idea, I don't know. It's interesting. It's definitely different.
It is different the way they're doing it now, but they actually did have a lack of durability in Gaiden.
I never played Gaiden.
Yeah, it wasn't released in US.
Yes.
But
I do actually think the durability is a decent idea. But at the same time, it's
questionable.
No durability plus added effects, that I don't think is a good idea.
It's questionable why it's questionable with the durability, because
they should have put sharpness.
Yeah, weapon sharpness, kind of like Monster Hunter.
Yes.
Yeah, that would have been a decent idea. I don't know. Personally, I think that the lack of weapon durability might create inventory clutter after a while.
I do too. I don't know. I'm excited for the game. When it comes out here in the US, I will play it. We're
probably gonna do an LP of it.
Most likely.
As soon as we can get our hands on it.
I think it'll be Fire Emblem. It's Fire Emblem. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a Fire Emblem game. So if you're a fan of Fire Emblem, you're probably gonna like this.
The game itself, I don't know, but it's Fire Emblem, so it's gonna be fun.
It sounds like they're making a few choices that I don't necessarily think are a good idea. The Phoenix mode, I don't like the idea of that at all. I don't know how I should feel about the weapon durability removal. The division between the two weapons, fine. That's fine. They're just supposedly just gonna act the same way as they normally would. But Phoenix mode is optional. I don't know very much about the weapon thing yet. And I don't know. For the most part, we're just gonna have to wait and see.
And that is the news.
Good
morning and good night.
Thank you for joining. Wait, what?
Thank you for joining us.